My name is Michael Meeks, and here is how MacArthur Woodworks started. So I guess we'll start with me. I'm 27 years old. I am very happily married to an awesome woman. I teach first grade, and I love it. My wife and I have two awesome dogs, Abby and Arrow, and we live in Augusta, Georgia. MacArthur, yeah, the name. So my middle name is MacArthur, so my initials are MMM. My grandpa, so my dad's name is MacArthur Meeks. And his son, my dad, his name is Mickey MacArthur, one word, Meeks. And I am Michael MacArthur Meeks, so it's like a firstborn male MMM type deal. My wife actually came up with a name to do this for the woodworking company, MacArthur Woodworks. I was going to do MMM Woodworking or something dumb like that. So my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, wanted a table built for the house she was living in college up here in Augusta. And with the help of my friend AJ, who got all the wood for me and helped me out, and my dad, who's a mechanical engineer and knows how to do everything, we built a table. And it wasn't anything spectacular, but it was a functional table. We still have it, actually. So yeah, I just started doing little stuff around the house, and I wouldn't say it was something I really enjoyed then. It was kind of more of a chore at the time, but I also wasn't very good at it. So I would say that I'm a fairly creative person. I love music, and I like to play music, listen to music. I still play at my church. I love to draw. I want to show you one of my favorite drawings, which will also show you Arrow and Abby, our dogs, so kind of two birds, one stone thing. This was one of my favorite drawings that I've done. This is Arrow. He's a golden retriever, some type of mix. And this is Abby. She's a lab of some sort. We don't know. Along with Pointer. They're both cute. So yeah, I like to draw. Cooking, I would even say, sometimes is kind of an art form to me. I love photography as well. Here's one of my favorite pictures that I've taken. This is in Alaska. It's kind of hard to take a bad picture there, but I also really love movies and all the behind-the-scenes stuff to movies, like the directing, acting, script writing, soundtracks. I love soundtracks. My wife can attest to that. So all that to say, I mentioned my dad earlier, who's an engineer's engineer, they say. He's a Georgia Tech grad. Never hired anyone to do anything around the house, cars, whatever on the house. He can do it, and he's good at it. He knows how to do everything, I think. And my brother, I would say, mostly inherited that gene. I did not. My brother probably got it, late teens. I think, though, now, as I'm growing a little older, I think I'm becoming a little bit more like my father in that way. So I think woodworking, especially with the resin, which we'll get to in a second, is a great blend of the creative side and the mathy, problem-solving, fixing things side. So I think it's a really good blend, and that's why I've really, really enjoyed it these last however many months, 8-10 months. So how I started with resin, our dear friend Alex had noticed some of my shoddy woodwork around the house here and wanted a table built with resin in it. So fast forward about 2 months later, I made my mom a resin charcuterie board. It was tiny. It was just red cedar with a very thin blue river going up the middle of it. And I put it on Facebook, and I had 40 people, I think like 38, message me and say that they wanted one. And because I have drawn for money before and I've played music for money before, I thought I knew how that was going to go. And I had 40 people say that they wanted one, but maybe one person would buy one. But it turns out most of these people wanted one. I had 35 orders within 4 or 5 days of posting that picture. That was definitely a confidence boost back in September, when that was, late September. So this is where John Graff at Aha Nui Artisans comes into play. I saw his Instagram And then I saw his Etsy, and I thought, this is what I want to make. John has some of the most creative and unique pieces that I've ever seen, and I wanted to try my hand at that type of stuff. There's nothing wrong with a traditional river going up the middle, but John's stuff was just crazy. And I'm sure if you've seen any of his work, you know that my work is modeled after his, I would say. I had a logo made for me. I pretty much instantly loved it. I was not very picky, surprisingly. I wanted a simple MacArthur Woodworks with the 2 dots on the side. My wife and I just got back from Maui in June, and I love koa trees. We had seen them all there, and my guitar, actually, that I play has curly koa backing. She's gorgeous. So the tree in my logo is a koa tree. So I started my business in October of 2019. Fast forward to now, to July, I've done just shy of 170 projects, most of which have been resin charcuterie boards, such as this guy. I've also done a lot of other projects. I've done, I think, 5 or 6 tables at this point, coasters, magnetic bottle openers, Rectech grill, shelves, and a couple clocks, which I think have turned out pretty cool. Can't go wrong with the black walnut white resin. I'm currently working on a real website and a real shop. I'm going to show you guys my shop soon. It's a small basement with a hot water heater down there, a sump pump. It floods pretty regularly. There's no room to do anything. So I'm expanding to a real shop in the next few months, and I'm very excited about that. And I've been really weird about only posting finished products. Just that's kind of like my how I am. But I promise that I'm going to try to do more processy videos to show you how I do it. Maybe even show you some unfinished pictures. Maybe. We'll see. So that has been my journey so far. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention them because they have made my life so much easier or made my products look so much better. And so Super Clear resin, every resin project that I do, it's their resin. Walrus Oil, finished in Walrus Oil. Baltic Pigments, I think they have awesome variety packs and I love their pigments. Starbond adhesives, Starbond CA glue is another company that I really enjoy. Hamsley Hardwoods is a place in Haneyville, very close to where I grew up. And the guy there, Danny, he's awesome, and that's where I get 90% of my wood. He's just got some awesome stuff. It's like going to Disney World for me when I go to his shop. I'd also like to thank Lumber Shack. With the quarantine going on, I discovered them because I haven't been able to drive to Danny's as often as I would like, and they have some pretty sweet stuff. And so if you've purchased something from me, first off, let me say thank you. I'm overwhelmed by the support, and it still blows my mind that people would want to buy something that I made. But also I would encourage you to leave a review on Google especially, but Facebook helps as well. Like I said, I've sold just shy of 170 woodworking projects, and I think I have 9 reviews when I last checked. So they really help small businesses, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you think you know somebody that might be interested in my work or just interested in this story or just looking at my stuff, which is fine too, I'd encourage you to tag them in the comments or just show them pictures on your phone or write them a letter, whatever you want to do. If you're still listening at this point, I'd like to thank John at Ahanui Artisans, Andrew at Cold Brew Woodworking, and Steve at Refined Nature Santa Fe for pushing me, sharing my stuff, and being just everyday influences to me. I sent them all a shirt. They really have influenced my work a lot, and I appreciate their support with quick little questions that I have. I'd also like to thank my wife, who has been so supportive through this entire venture of starting a business. I know it's not cheap, and I've had some long nights in the shop. I talk about Festool constantly, and I track in an enormous amount of sawdust and resin flakes into your lovely home. And I'm sorry. You're my favorite. I'd like to leave you with this. It's a Bible verse from Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Thank you for watching this. I hope this has been beneficial to you. Share it all around if you wish.